I want you to go from I can't find good people to I got the best people in the world. The fact is that your ability to build a phenomenal dream team, it doesn't matter whether you think you can or not. It's helpful if you think you can. It's helpful if you know that you can. But listen, y'all know how authentic and real I am with you guys. I'm open. It's like, even when you don't believe, you take the steps. Even when you don't believe, you don't feel like you're ever going to get there, you still take the steps, because what's the alternative? The alternative is keep doing everything yourself, right? So I want to just remind you that the most important thing that you can do in your business is A, build your network. All business, all of life is about relationships. And B, develop leaders. What did Senior Grandmaster Brenda J. Sell share with us at the conference 2 weeks ago? Their mission statement was develop leaders. When you develop leaders, A, you can get more done, you can go farther, you can go faster, you get there easier. And the biggest benefit of it is that you get to make a difference in other people's lives. Phenomenal leadership is creating a community experience. And that experience is made up of three things. Number one, that people feel supported. Number two, they feel encouraged. Number three, they're in an environment where they feel free, open, and strong enough to be checked on their values. That's what I want to focus on today. I want to walk you through the compensation process, because many people seem to be confused about, or have a big question like, what's the best way to pay people? Okay, what's the best way to pay people? I want to share a simple thing that I learned from Ellen Rohr about compensation. Now, keep in mind that Ellen Rohr, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, from zero to $40 million with 47 locations in less than 2 years. She helped me get my company from in debt to debt free. She scaled up Zoom Drain from 0 to 60 locations. She is a financial rock star. Here's something I learned from Ellen. Here's the framework of an effective compensation program, okay? Here's her philosophy, if you will. Her philosophy is they bring it in on time and on budget. Hey, you get to stay. You ever had a team member that's like, I did my job, so give me more money? No, that was supposed to be funny, but anyway. Give me more money because I've been here for a long time. No, just because you're there. Remember the ideal team player. What was one of the terms, lovable slacker? No. If you bring it in on budget and on time, you get to stay, okay? If you bring it in early or under budget, then you get a bonus. And this is one of the things I want to talk you guys through today on how to set up a bonus program, the basics. What you really need to do, if you bring it in late or over budget, I'm going to coach you for a little while. This is Ellen's philosophy. But if I can't get you up to where you need to be, then we might not be able to work together. By the way, just because you're not able to work together doesn't mean that you're no longer friends. It doesn't have to be ugly, right? So the idea here is, how do we create a compensation program in a situation where you don't have to overpay for underperformance and you don't underpay for performance? And how do you make sure that you're very generous in that process? Okay, now here's some common compensation methods. First of all, everybody knows about hourly.
This is a critical piece right here that Howard's talking about. And I like to use the words here when we're talking about the subject that Howard's talking about is equitable exchange. Okay, I like these two words when it comes to when we're talking about paying hourly. Is if you ask your team members, and team members are functioning people on the team, they're not employees that show up every day to punch the clock just to get paid and it's transactional. Team members are transformational. They're people that are invested in the work because of the vision, right? So when we're looking at the exchange, I ask people when we're doing interviews, what are you selling? If you were the CEO of your company, what are you selling that our company is buying? Yeah. And almost everyone says time. But as the business owner, I'm not buying time. I'm buying attitude. I'm buying a phenomenal attitude. I'm buying maximum effort, and I'm buying an incredible skill set. And you may come to me without a skill set, but as long as you come with a phenomenal attitude and you bring maximum effort, I will train you from zero to hero.
Yeah, there's just advantages and disadvantages on a whole. Doesn't mean anybody's a bad person or anything like that. It's just another, it's not going to fix your culture, right? It'll help your culture. It's a tool. Okay, it's a tool with benefits, and so I'm going somewhere with this. Salary. The advantage is, again, you know exactly what you're going to pay out. Now, the difference between hourly and salary is hourly, typically, if you got your production down right, then there's a relationship between the production and the output, right? So now if people are going slow, like when Ellen came in and helped me with my compensation program, our labor rate was so high. Were they bad people? No, just we didn't give them the right game to play, right? And so they would get a lot of hours, but it didn't, we had goals, but it didn't really bother them or affect them, because they were unaware, right? Remember that coaching for performance is about awareness and responsibility, that they have to become aware that this is their responsibility and they have to take that responsibility. So salary, now, so the upside to salaries, again, you know what your overhead is, but there may or may not be any correlation to the production. So you're going to pay that amount no matter what. Now, one thing you need to understand is that there are rules about all of this. So get legal advice. Did I say that? Put it in the chat, Santi. Get legal advice. Put it in the chat so we have a record of it. Get legal advice. As far as I understand it, that someone who's on salary needs to have a responsibility for other people. In other words, you don't just put a tech, for example, on salary that's working alone. It's not working with other people, not responsible for certain outcomes and what have you. But anyway, so make sure that you got that down. Now, the downside to salary, in addition to the overheads there, whether you sell something or not, is the other side of it. You got a great team member who's really producing. So what's the temptation? Overload them. Just give them more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And you got a great person, high S personality, like Michelle, SC. Years ago, I found out that she worked all night to make sure at the conference, to make sure that everything was going. Everybody's taken care of. It's like, Michelle, we got to get you some help. But Michelle wants it done right. So she's not going to just automatically delegate like me. Like I'll delegate, say, hey, you do this, you do that. If it worked out, great. If it didn't, we'll fix it. Okay. I mean, she's not like that because she wants it to be right. Another common compensation method is commission. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of commission? Advantage is the more you produce, the more you get paid. The disadvantage is that again, everything comes back to culture. What Sherry said is so important because great people, phenomenal people can thrive with any method, okay? But if you're going to scale an organization, you're going to build a team, there needs to be some sort of system, if you will. And commission is great because it keeps people hungry. But if they're hungry and not humble, coming from the ideal team player, hungry and not people smart, you might have someone who's too aggressive. I've had people on my team like that. They're just too aggressive. And also you want to understand that paying, that most your technicians, for example, your production workers, if you will, your production team, legally, it's not legal advice, but what I understand is that they can't be paid commission unless they're bringing in new business. Okay, so you want to check that. The best compensation method is a community environment with benefits. So there's more to this than just pay. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a business owner is to assume that you'll get the best people by paying them the most. If you attract people by giving them a big, lot of money, this isn't always the case. If it's not, again, goes back to the right person, right? But they might leave you to get paid. If it's all about the money, they'll leave you to go get paid by somebody else. So here's how I believe in performance-based pay, and here's how it works. Okay, this is what we do at our service company. First of all, you have a base pay. That base pay is either hourly or salary, and you're confident that with that base pay, you can be profitable, you can run a good program and everything. And on top of that, so it might be a low hourly, low salary, not too low that it, just as people are disappointed, but that you're not overpaying, right? And then there's a bonus paid on performance. In order to get this bonus, which is technically a manager at the manager's discretion, technically, it's not a commission, it's a performance-based bonus. Well, if you're going to receive that, you have to be a team member in good standing. You can't be in a write-up situation and get a bonus. So now that covers a whole range of things: being on time, being on uniform, treating people, respecting other people, and contributing to a positive work environment. So at our service company, our managers and directors are salaried, plus they get bonuses. There's different bonuses based on what they are responsible for. Our office and field team, they are hourly plus bonuses. Now, the way it works is our inside salespeople get a certain hourly. Just the hourly, they're not going to be happy with. But everything that they book and put on the schedule, they're going to get a percentage of that sale. What does that do? Makes them hungry. Makes them want to answer that telephone. Because they know that when they answer that telephone and they close that job, they're going to get paid more. Techs, same thing. They have hourly plus bonus. And what we do there is the percentage is based on their level. So we have 3 levels. We have a basic level, which that means that you can operate in the field. As an assistant, you just get hourly. You don't get any performance pay until you become a technician, okay? So basic technician can do basic work. Intermediate means that you have increased your capacity. Senior level is able to handle specialty stuff, right? And so their percentage goes up. Nobody gets more per hour when their capability goes up. Nobody gets more per hour because they've been there for a long time. We got a different way to bless that, if you will. They get their performance pay, their performance percentage increases. Oh, then something I didn't put in here is we have an all-team bonus every month. We don't pay more per hour just because somebody's been there. The longer you're there, you get more benefits, okay? You get more benefits. The benefits that we offer is paid vacation. So after a year, it's 1 year, then it goes to 2 years at 2 years, 3 years at 3 weeks at 3 years. We have 401k. We don't match it, but 401k, if people understand it and they understand that they can put that money away pre-tax, then they could be more successful financially. And that's another thing you want to teach your folks is, you got to get there first. I had to get there before I could start teaching that stuff. And then this is a big one, health benefits. After 90 days, they get access to health benefits. I think we pay half after 90 days. And then after a year, we pay their full individual. But again, the biggest benefit is they get to go to a place that they like going to every day. Patrick Bolton, hiring expert, said what's going to keep the best people around is happiness. If they're happy at the place they work.